I just saw Pantera for the second time in 2 years, and honestly, this concert turned out way differently than I expected. Some of that was on the band, but some of it had nothing to do with them at all. So in this video I'm gonna break down how it all went, how it compared to that insane concert that I saw 2 years ago, and yes, I'm gonna throw in my 10 cents on the big debate: should this band be out there touring with only 2 original members? Last time I saw Pantera, it was unreal. The energy, the crowd, the sound, it was just the perfect storm of everything that you want from a real metal show, and that's pretty big coming from someone like me who sees over 100 live bands per year. So when tickets for this show went on sale, I bought them instantly, no hesitation, even if I had to travel 3.5 hours, no questions asked. Part of the reason was that I was 100% sure that this would be an even better show than the one that I saw in Prague, because this one is in Ostrava and they don't get a lot of big bands coming through there, so I was sure that the crowd would go nuts, even better than in Prague. But then a couple of things started raising red flags. First of all, a friend of mine who insists on being in this video, so you can see him on the screen right now, he just bought his tickets a few days before the show from the official ticket seller, and that was a surprise to me because I was pretty sure that this would be sold out months in advance. The show was at Ostravar Arena that holds about 12 to 13,000 people for a concert like this. I came there early because I wanted to see Power Trip, but I immediately noticed that something was off. The place was empty, not just like people are running late empty, but more like worryingly empty. Now, to be fair, despite all this, Power Trip did their job. They got the pit moving and the people who were actually there were definitely into it. During the Power Trip set, I realized another issue: the sound. It was echoing, it fell flat. It was kind of like all the energy was getting lost in that arena. Right away, their sound was definitely better than Power Trip's, but compared to 2 years ago, no contest. It still felt way off. It kind of lacked the punch and it didn't have the clarity somehow. And because of all that, the energy just wasn't the same. Now, don't get me wrong, Pantera came out all guns blazing. The stage looked killer, the fire effects kicked in, and the visuals on the screen, they were synced to the setlist, so it was a cool show. Now let's talk positives first. The band was definitely on point. The stage production was just perfect. As I said, they were synchronizing with the setlist, all the fire, all the stuff. It was really, really cool. And it felt like Phil Anselmo really wanted this show to be a great show. Or maybe he just knew that the vibe wasn't there and he was trying to fix it. And they did indeed show a great deal of respect to the brothers, Vinny and Dimebag. But then the issues, the crowd. Right up front, they were having a lot of fun. There were circle pits, there were crowd surfing and all that stuff. But in the stands, it was pretty liveless. 2 years ago, it was crazy the whole fucking time. This time around, it felt more like a grandma's funeral. Now the sound, it wasn't horrible, but it was so far away from where it was 2 years ago. And I kind of want to blame that on the empty seats, because less bodies means more echo. Now these things are obviously not the band's fault, but do you know what is? The setlist. I mean, the setlist was fine, because basically almost any Pantera song is great, but it was just 13 songs. 2 years ago they played 15 songs. And it's not like they don't have songs in their catalog or something, so they could easily push this to 15 or 16 songs and give us more for our money. And then the song This Love. I love that song, obviously, but let's face it, I'm not sure that Phil Anselmo can do the clean vocals in that song anymore. I don't want to highlight these few seconds in This Love as something that describes the whole concert, not at all. I mean, outside of that, Phil and the rest of the band did a really good job, but there was just something off with the vibe. Now, 2 years ago, I gave that insane concert that I saw 11 out of 10. This one, I just can't ignore the shortcomings, so I'm gonna have to give this 8.5 out of 10. Now, I'm judging the whole experience here, not just the band performance. I'm judging the crowd and the vibe and everything, because that's what I'm looking for. Now, honestly, I'm not sure I need to go and see this band again, unless that I know that they've changed the setlist a little bit, that they're playing somewhere where there's gonna be a full house, sweaty, noisy, and crazy, because I know what kind of concert this band can deliver. Okay, let's talk about it. Should Pantera actually be out there touring with just 2 original members? I've seen a lot of debate online. Some people call it a cover band, a tribute band, or just a shell of what Pantera used to be. But I see it differently. A band has to be bigger than the individual members. I mean, look at bands like Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Metallica, Megadeth. All these bands have had massive lineup changes, but they just kept going. And in this case, for me, it's even stranger to say that they shouldn't be doing this, because it's physically impossible to bring the 2 other members into this. So what should the other 2 guys do? I don't know, should they just start working as plumbers or whatever? You know, this was also their band. And honestly, guys, with metal and rock and this stuff, you know, this is the music that is best served live somehow. So I would go and see a Kiss cover band, I would go and see a Led Zeppelin cover band, because that's the best way to consume that music somehow. And the fact that there are 2 guys out there, original members of Pantera, performing this music is just a huge bonus, especially for us who didn't manage to see them back in their heyday. And to be fair, they do show a ton of respect to Dime and Vinny throughout the whole show. So what do you think, guys? Have you seen Pantera live? Should they be touring at all? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you like this video, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because there is more where this came from. And speaking of bands that have had to survive lineup changes, I went to see Sepultura live the other day. I did a concert review and I have some conspiracy theories about it as well. So I'll see you over there.